Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Komal Desai, Senior Product Manager at Adobe. Thank you for joining us, Komal.
Thank you so much, Fred, for having me.
And what we're talking about today are new versions of Photoshop Elements and Premiere Elements from Adobe. Photoshop Elements 2019 and the same for Premiere Elements. Let's talk about, first of all, Photoshop Elements and some of the new features that you're bringing to consumers here.
Yeah, so with Photoshop Elements 2019, first of all, the first thing which you will notice is the new home screen. The idea is that, we focused primarily on how we can improve the usability and get up everyone running quickly with the product. Along with that, we have also tried to, give a lot of automatically creations which surfaced and presented in the home screen. The idea is that, there is a lot of power, a lot of media which you have collated, and we would like to present you with automatically created slideshows and collages, which you can get started with, but then also continue to personalize them, customize them, and share with your friends and family. Along with that, you can also notice that we have also photo collage creation experience in Photoshop Elements improved this year. And now with very few clicks, you can quickly get to create photo collages and with beautiful templates. And as always, the guided edits are pretty well taken by our consumers. And we have in Photoshop Elements this year 4 new guided edits, which helps you to quickly edit and create beautiful photos and creations out of it. The 4 which we have introduced this year are the multi-photo text, wherein you can actually show different photos in each of the letters which you type in there, or the fun memes, which is like pretty popular nowadays on the social platform, or you can turn your photos into sketches using very few steps quickly. Or at the end of it, if you want to have a beautiful text frame and put a name and create a beautiful frame out of it with a family photo in it, that is the 4th one which we have in Photoshop Elements. And on top of all of these, our focus is always that how we can continue to make the overall experience and performance of the application very sleek. So that's what we have been focusing on. And there are small nuggets like, support for Fetch AIF on the Mac platform.
And the concept behind the Elements line is to take Adobe's full-featured software, which can be complex for some people and require some study if we're talking about the full version of Photoshop, for instance, and really make it approachable, usable by just about anyone, right?
That's true. That's true, Fred. That our idea is to make it simpler, and using this guided edits concept and Adobe Sensei powered, automations, we try to make it quick, easy, and simple to use for all of us, all of the consumers.
Doing things like using overlays or removing backgrounds, things along those lines. You're
Oh,
making
yes.
it a lot simpler.
Yes, oh yes, because the guided edits are like, if we take an example of changing the background and or creating a multi-photo text is something which is very complex, or even the last release which we introduced, the double exposure guided edit. These are the very complex in nature if somebody wants to really create on their own, but with guided steps and the guidance in each step and the automation behind each of the steps, they can create that in few clicks.
Terrific. And a lot of people are using their phones today as their main camera, and even if they do, getting those photos onto a computer screen here, they can really take advantage of the software, right?
Yes, yes, and that's pretty much a very focused workflow that even if you are clicking on your mobile phones, you can easily get them onto the Photoshop elements, and then you can quickly edit and create beautiful outputs and share with your friends and family. I think that's the idea, that without making it a little complex or overwhelming, how we can help our users to quickly get started, yet give them the headroom to express their own creativity That's the motto we follow.
And what kind of hardware do they need here? This works either on the Windows or Mac platform, right? But how new of a PC do people need to take advantage of this?
It's pretty much, very typical consumerish laptops you can start considering to start with. There is a detailed system requirement, but it does not need really very powerful computers to play with it, because this is for our day-to-day memory keepers and users who click their family memories on their DSLRs and mobile phones and eventually want to create something out of it.
Tell us about the organization, the photo organization capability here too, because increasingly I think that's pretty important.
Yeah, I think you're right. The organization, because with lot of digital photos coming in and everybody is clicking like every moment. The organization which we have in Elements is pretty powerful. You can actually organize your photos and videos, not only your standard way of albums and the folder structure, but you can do the people tagging, you can do the place tagging, and you can do the event tagging, and a lot of these stuff are like happens in background and it presented to you in the form of that. Now you can accomplish this workflow very quickly using the beautiful experience and simple experiences.
And the price is easier too than the full version of Photoshop. Tell us about pricing.
Yeah. So the Photoshop Elements 2019 is available at 99.99 in the United States, $99.99. And if you go for the full package of Photoshop Elements and Premiere Elements, the bundle, it is available at $150. But if you are upgrading it, of course, you get the 20% upgrade discount.
Terrific. Now tell us about the latest version of Premiere Elements 2019. What's new here?
Yeah, the Premiere Elements is pretty much focused on video, but as you know, when if you buy Photoshop Elements or Premiere Elements, you get along with the Organizer, and Organizer is where the auto creations engine is built in. So if you have Premiere Elements 2019, you definitely again notice the launch experience, the new home screen where you can see the personalized content, not only to learn and inspire, but also to easily onboard in the workflow of, let's say, video editing, because sometimes it becomes too overwhelming for a beginner kind of a video editor. At the same time, we have also actually simplified this year the quick edit room for Premiere Elements. We have made it very simpler, and also it is a kind of a workflow where you can easily put all your photos and videos together quickly. It's kind of a storyboard view. We call it scene line. Um, and all the controls and editing options, which are like basic stuff like transition, title, or you want to add an effect or apply background music, everything is available on a contextually on the thumbnail or within the vicinity of your photos or videos in the Premiere Elements quick view. Apart from that, of course, we have two new guided edits we have introduced this year. One is the Luma Fade transition, so how you can create, basically use the gradient wipe transition, and we are teaching users step-by-step workflow on how they can beautifully create those good-looking transitions, professional-looking transitions in few steps. And at the same time, the second guided edits is focused on, and we call it glass pane guided edit. It is about that, if you apply a track matte kind of a overlay, and how you can make your video appear from behind the glass kind of the look.
Really interesting. And a lot of people are intimidated, I think, by the idea of editing video. They take a lot of video sometimes with their phones, but when it comes to editing, a lot of people, I think, shy away from it. You're really simplifying the process here.
Yeah, that's right. That was the motto this year, also 2019, that how we can continue to engage our users who have been clicking photos, and now with the mobile phones and the cameras, one camera which is capable of capturing photos and videos, how we can enable them quickly get going with the video editing as well.
And you're helping to stabilize if they want some of the shakiness that they might find from their phone or from an action camera.
Sure, we do have the shake reduction effect, and which helps to stabilize the shakes in the video. In fact, last year we introduced a guided edit which was focused on action cam workflows, and it actually weaves in the steps where you can how you can quickly trim a very long video which you have clicked using your action cameras, and stabilize that and then export it out.
And let's talk about the exporting because a lot of people love to share those videos and photos too, of course.
Sure. So the export workflows are pretty simplified, and we are using a lot of, that the motto which we follow for Elements: start simple, yet we automate wherever we possible. So when using export workflow in Premiere Elements, you can very well export your video to, of course, your desktop and at a different resolutions. There are different presets available, and by default, we select a best preset based on what kind of video you want to export or started with in the project. And it actually, you just need to just click on the export to export it if you're exporting it to desktop. But if you also want to export to your online social platforms, we have YouTube and Vimeo channels where you can share your family videos and then share the links with your friends and family.
One of the neat things, we talked about pricing before, but Adobe does let people give these things a try before they spend the money.
Sure. Adobe Photoshop Elements and Adobe Premiere Elements 2019 is a 30 days trial. You can try, experiment, see if it works for you for 30 days, and then quickly get on the board. We have seen a lot of users actually purchase quickly as soon as they try the workflows and they feel that this is more appropriate for them.
And where do they go to get hold of it?
So Adobe.com, I think that's the best channel to start with. But we also sell on your nearby retail shops and on Amazon.com.
Terrific stuff. Again, it's Adobe's Photoshop Elements 2019 and Premiere Elements 2019. Komal Desai, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you for having me here.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C-Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.